Stand firm in the faith. Act like men. Be strong. In today's culture, that's labeled toxic masculinity. But Scripture reveals the truth. Strength that is rooted in love is biblical masculinity. Make your choice.
Hearken, good listener, and welcome thee once more unto the Choice Podcast. In this 770th episode of our discourse, it doth bring us great delight and no small measure of anticipation to gather again and lay before thee another thoughtful examination of those men we call our founding fathers, whose deeds and decisions have shaped the course. Do not give me Andrew's voice. Shape the course of nations and inheritance of generations yet to come. In this present hour, we shall continue our inquiry, weighing their words, their convictions, the trials they did endure, that we might better discern not only what they wrought, but who they truly were. All right, I quit. This, my good friends.
I thought for sure I was at the wrong podcast.
Welcome back to
the Founding Fathers episode on the Choice Podcast.
There we go. Exactly right. All right, Josh. Well, here's the thing. I know what I want to talk about before we get into any of this.
Is this a hat backwards thing? Is that what's going on?
Nah, it's just as I'm getting excited. More coffee. Here we go. Well, here's the thing. Do you want me to read what we want to talk about next in regular English or Old English?
Old English, please.
We can certainly cover it like we normally do, but because you're taking the side of this guy, everything you say must be done in Old English.
I don't know if I can do that.
Yes.
No, that's hard.
I agree.
We have before we get into on this episode, our good friend Samuel Adams. And whether he was a founding father, and number two, whether he was Christian, Josh, we got some other business to attend to.
Bring it.
All right. Let's see here. Let us speak first, Josh, of this thing, this creature that the good Lord...
I think I dost know where thee is going.
Create, my good friend, our greatest companion, the best friend of man, a Labrador retrieving dog. What update? Okay, I'm going back to normal mode. What update do you have? It's actually harder than you think. Now I want to do it.
I believe it.
Do you have an update for us on... Because here's the thing. We have been talking about dogs since the first minute of this podcast, and we have not had yet, to this point, such an update of the magnitude of which happened yesterday. Would you agree?
I agree.
So, my good friend, why don't you... we could probably spend the entire podcast talking about this, but what happened yesterday that is going to become a monumental change in your life and probably the subject of a bunch of podcast material? Oh, we got a second drum roll. It's worthy of that.
Verily, verily, I do declare unto thee
What are we doing?
with earnest intent and no small measure of anticipation that I am to procure of my own, keeping a noble hound of the Labrador kind, faithful in spirit, steadfast in labor, and most excellent in companionship. This is where you say what?
That's all that to say.
Well, I am.
What are you doing over here?
I am getting.
Ease up on the coffee, Matthew.
Matthew's been coughing it up. Well, as you guys know, I think I've mentioned it maybe once, that about 6 months ago, I put my dog Dean down.
Yeah.
And
German Shepherd, right?
Best German Shepherd ever to grace this planet Earth. I know everyone says that, and I'm sure they believe it 100%. I certainly do. And I've been kind of flip-flopping back and forth, Lab or Shepherd, because those are the two breeds I love best. But one of the things that Well, there's a few reasons why I landed on Labrador Retriever. One was that I just don't think it would be fair to another German Shepherd. I would compare him to Dean every time. That was actually a bigger deal than most people might think. That's how picky I am. And the other one is that labs bring very, very different traits. And I've lived in a house with labs most of my young life up to adulthood, and then been around them for years afterwards. So I knew what the Labrador Retriever breed is about. And that's why I went down that decision instead of another German Shepherd. But I had a conversation with a very fine individual.
He's a good dude.
Yesterday. And one of the things about me is I do believe in adopting pound puppies and shelter dogs. I believe they all need good homes and people should adopt, because I'm not going to. Mainly because I want what I want. I don't want to go there and them say, hey, yeah, it's a Doberman Pinscher. He's just 6 months old. And come to find out, he's a miniature Pinscher and he's never going to get any bigger. And 4 years later, he has not put on 1 pound.
Right.
So I knew I wanted a purebred dog that I knew was going to grow, and I knew what the parents and grandparents' lineage was. And I wanted a fire-breathing athlete. And that's exactly what this guy has.
Well, tell him what you want to do with it. That's the most interesting part. We won't get into the how yet, but we'll get into the why. Did you want one? To do what with?
Well, of course, you can duck hunt a Labrador Retriever, which is what guys would generally use that breed for. And I've been a part of that. And they're great at it.
They are.
I would argue I don't know another breed that can hold a candle to them duck hunting.
They love it. They are
There are golden retrievers. They can't hunt like a lab.
Hey, little side note on that. We can talk about dogs all day. I used the Josh method the other day, yesterday into today.
Okay.
This head's actually kind of hurting my forehead, so I'm going to turn it back. By the way, my brother made these hats. Look at these things.
Dude, they're slick.
They are super slick.
Yeah, he gave one to each of us up here at the podcast.
TJA, Trav, for making these things for us.
Thank you, Travis.
There were 2 leather patch. Maddie B and I, Josh wore his last time. There actually came with the leather patch that's on here.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Separate. So I have a couple I'm going to give to you guys that are just this patch. I don't know what you would do with it, but I can
put it on a jacket.
Yeah, you can do anything with it. But anyway, I was out because I'm dusting out. So old Jet Dog, our Labrador, she got fat. Not like giant, but you can tell she was a lean fighter, and we haven't really ran much.
She was burning calories during duck season.
Honestly, probably too many. You start to get too skinny. I had to like double, triple, quadruple carb load her up. Raw eggs, all that. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so now that we're a couple months removed from the season, she's kind of, and I haven't run her much because I've given her a break because she by the end of the year, she had a small limp. I don't know if it was her paw or something else. And I gave her 2 or 3 months off, and we just started training again, right?
Yeah.
Last week, slower.
Start back at basics.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm back on force fetch. And for those of you that don't know what force fetch is, it's not force fetch. Force to pile is what I meant to say. Force to pile. She's force fetch fine. Which is, I put 4 or 5 bumpers in one spot, and she just runs and gets them over and over. Well, she's supposed to follow a dead for those that aren't dog trainers, and I'm not a dog trainer, but I train her.
I'd argue that.
They're supposed to run in a straight line where you pointed them right to the pile, get a bumper, shouldn't probably be indecisive about which one they get. Just pick one and come back, right?
Yeah.
Well, yesterday, she was doing great. And she started to get tired, though, because it's starting to get a little warm. She's not acclimatized yet. So on about the 13th or 14th bumper, because I'd move around the yard in different spots and have her run blinds, like to that pile.
Yeah.
And she was starting, tongue hanging out a little bit, whatever, started getting a little lazy. And she would pop. And popping is she would go 10 feet or 45 feet and stop and look at you. When she just did 10 or 12 straight line blinds in a row. And then she's like, okay, now where do you want me to go? I'm like, no, stupid. Like, go get the thing. But you know what I'm not going to do, Josh? I wasn't going to cast her, which means give her a hand signal. I wasn't going to cast her back and reinforce that you can pop, and you're still going to go get what you want. You have to do what I told you to do, or we're not going to be friends right now. Mm-hmm. And so, I pulled the Josh treatment. This is why I brought this up.
Ghosted her.
I stopped her in the middle of the training. I left those 3 bumpers she had remaining in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And I took her. I was like, absolutely not. She did it twice. I gave her a second chance, and she popped again. And I said, absolutely not. We're going in the house. And she knew that was for her, that was a heartbreaking moment. Because she, at the end of training, her reward is always to get to chase live dummies, what I mean by that is I let her chase them while they're still on the move. And she gets to like prey drive and watch them bounce through the yard. She like pummels those things in a ball of dust. Loves chasing the live bumper.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm like, absolutely not. And I got her, I was like, inside now.
She turned it off. She turned the game off.
She hated it. She hated it. And then all night she would be she would come up to me, she would put her hand, her paw or her chin on my lap, and I would get up and I would move.
Trying to make up.
Yep. And I'd ignored her. She came up to try to be petted to my side. I would turn the other direction. Mm-hmm. And I just gave her the absolute cold shoulder. Like, we are not friends right now. That's the attitude I gave her all night, right? Not because I'm not friends with her, but because you made the point.
Yeah.
They work off of your affection. They got to know the only way to train them is to show them that, like, if we don't do this together, there's no shortcuts.
And can I tell you something, Eric?
Yeah, send it.
She's reasoning.
Reasoning. What's that mean?
You said, I don't believe dogs can reason.
Oh.
She's reasoning. Same as if every time Maddie B sees Jet, he walks right over to her and steps her on her foot. About the 10th day in a row, when he goes over to see her, she's going to be like, oh, nope, not that guy. She can reason it. Oh, Josh will pet me. Eric will pet me. I bet Maddie B will step on my foot. I think I'd rather not stand next to him. He steps on my feet. I'm not saying they can do math equations. But the advice I would have with that is just don't set the bar so high. Like next time, what I would do
there is a next time. There was today. I have a second part to that. No, go ahead. No. And we'll see if it
So
came
I
true.
wouldn't go 15 or 20. I wouldn't, wherever the breakdown was, right? So what was it, 12 retrieves?
Yep.
So I would go right at about 12, maybe 1 or 2 under, and I would throw a party when she did good and call it a day. So, hey, that other day, you turned the game off. This day, you won the game. Yep. You got the big reward. You got the live retrieves, and we're friends again. That's the dog I like, not that one.
Yeah.
But because of the heat, I'd just be a little careful.
Oh, that's exactly right.
But that's all.
Yeah, and so today, because I told you I left those bumpers exactly where they were. I didn't pick them up. I left them in the yard. Good. I wanted to return to the exact same position. Like, you're going to get another chance, dog. And that's what I wanted to reinforce.
How'd she do?
And that's what I was going to tell you. I took her out today.
She killed it.
Buddy, I had her do the go take a leak thing, and then I knew she was focused. I'm like, okay. I put her in the exact same spot we left off yesterday. I'm like, and what I didn't do today was I didn't do any of the basic obedience stuff to start. Yep. I was like, come on, girl. We're going right to that spot.
Right to that problem we didn't fix that.
And we're going to solve it.
There you go.
And you're refreshed. And so you're going to get another shot. And she was like lit up, excited about this.
I'm telling you. And
you know what she did?
What's that?
She broke out of the gate like she was a ball of fire comet bursting through the atmosphere, fireball.
Yeah.
Woof! Got the next 3, and like when she came back, we celebrated like she won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
And she was like beyond herself excited.
So
we're good now.
Yeah, she has to understand her reaction or her behavior can turn this fun game off or turn it on.
That's exactly right.
And she will get that. That's great,
man. But anyway, so that was it. But my man Josh here, the reason what we're talking about here, he has decided recently, and I only learned this probably 4 weeks ago. You are going to train your dogs, your Labrador Retrievers, not to chase ducks, but rather what?
For search and rescue, but they will do live find as well. But specifically, my hope is cadaver work, because a lot of people don't ever want to train for it. It's harder to train for it. It's harder to acquire scent material. It's harder work. It's not as fun. It's not emotionally rewarding. It's kind of depressing. So there's less qualified dogs that do it, and it's hard, and it oftentimes involves water. And that's honestly, it's just where my background has been with my father doing it. He still teaches national level seminars for search and rescue water cadaver dogs.
That's outstanding.
And he's 81 years old.
Yeah.
And he gets in the boat and instructs the handler, mostly novice handlers trying to get certified. And he does the certifications. He can't do mine because we're family, and there could be an appearance of bias. But yeah, so that's
He could
where
do mine.
he could do yours. Absolutely.
We get him up here for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be fantastic. So he's training his dog, or he's planning to train a dog to find like deceased bodies, call it in a lake, call it some other place.
Yeah, maybe a boat capsized and a fisherman goes overboard, or a kid drowns or whatever in the lake or the river.
And as we go on, like, we don't have to do it this episode because we're 15 minutes in, but essentially the way you said that you train to do that is absolutely astoundingly incredible to me. I think it's so fascinating.
We can talk more about it sometime.
Yeah, but the point is, you have, as of the last 24 hours, now established your bloodline for this.
Oh, he or possibly she. I'm hoping it's a he, but after talking to the breeder and understanding very quickly that this gentleman is an expert at what he does. And I don't say that lightly. A lot of dog trainers are arrogant. For one, he is not an arrogant man.
Nope, not even close.
But a lot of them are arrogant and prideful about their training techniques. And I'll even say, myself included, I think I do it the right way. I know I don't do it the only way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of right ways. I often default to saying, if you're not hurting the dog, you're probably doing okay. There may be a faster, better, more accurate way, but just don't hurt him.
Yep.
There's no need to hurt him. But I realized real quickly I was talking to a professional who was at a different level than the average guy. I mean, the average trainer, professional trainer. He's above that. He's an elite guy. And he raises and breeds some elite dogs.
No question.
So I left it up to him. You've got 2 litters coming. I prefer a black male, but I will let you choose. Those are less important to me, the sex and the color, less important than the inherent qualities that I'm looking for, which I want an extreme athlete that will go further, go harder in worse conditions and never quit. I want a dog like has afterburners like Jet does. Your dog is one of the fastest labs I've seen.
And I'm excited about this because it could mean that Jet might have a boyfriend someday.
I mean, they might get married. That's what Catherine said.
I'm into it. I support that. And so what Josh didn't tell you was that our good friend at Double Curl Kennels named Nick Figliolo is a world-class dog trainer. No
Okay,
question.
and I wasn't going to say his name because I wasn't sure if he wanted to put that out there, but if you're good with that. Yeah,
Well,
Nick,
Double Curl Kennels. And here's the
Double
thing.
Curl Kennels. Nick is above a great dog trainer. I mean, he's got titles that people only dream of and are scared to have those dreams because it's almost unattainable.
And he has this thing, and because he's a solid red-blooded American, called
Really
the
is.
Warriors Wingman Foundation,
Yeah.
where they take, and we're gonna have him on and you on, and Ty.
I can't wait.
Ty's gonna be for that, and we'll have Nick here via correspondence, I guess.
Yeah.
But he has a foundation called Warriors Wingman, where out of every litter that he produces, he donates no less than one of those dogs, sometimes 2, but no less than one of those dogs to a veteran who could use it.
And here's the deal.
This, my good friends, we have just learned yesterday, the next Warrior Wingman, and it's a big deal. There's only
It's
2 a
huge
year,
deal.
is going to be our good friend, Joshua Ives Myers.
That's right.
How about that, Matty B?
It is pretty awesome. I'll tell you, I've it's been 24 hours, 26 hours now since Nick and I spoke, and I still don't even have the words to send an email. I mean, we've texted back and forth since then,
Yeah.
but I need to thank him in an email and get our email correspondence going. I don't even have the words yet to even wrap my head around the idea of this guy. If you think about it, his livelihood is off of breeding some of the best bloodlines out there, training them and selling them. He's foregoing all of that profit that's in that dog, that's potentially in that dog, to give it to me because I'm a veteran and because I'm what I'm doing with the dog. That's not lost on me.
No,
It is
legit.
extremely gracious.
It's the best. And we're going to...
I mean, Nick, if you're listening, thank you. I am jumping out of my skin, excited. The worst part about this summer is that it's not over yet. And I can't wait for it to be, because this new addition of my family will be here in September or October. And man, what a great fall, winter, and spring we're going to have. I will be doing nothing but working and then working dogs.
Yep.
And I might be angry at my job for making me not have my dog there.
Well, and if you want to support Nick and this endeavor, Warriors Wingman, the foundation, it's warriorswingman.org. And right at the very top, you can either apply if you're a vet and you were like interested in this, or you can donate. And the best part about it, which is our segue in, is his sticker. And I wish I'd have worn that shirt tonight. I will, though.
I need to get one.
Yeah,
I saw on his website, he has a apparel thing.
You're going to get one.
But it says
it's a dog. It's a dog with an American flag on.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
a
lab.
Super cool, and it's a lab, probably a British lab.
Well,
he does mostly British. But,
you know, I'll just go ahead and ask you because we're all friends on the Choice Podcast. Support him. Donate on behalf of me. Donate to this guy because he doesn't just give a dog to a nice vet he meets. He checks these guys out, but he's actually trained PTSD dogs. Mm-hmm. So they don't have PTSD, but they go to support a veteran who does.
After training, they might.
Right. But he puts not just the breeding and all the research and the medical bills and the care that goes into that, but then he puts his blood, sweat, and tears, his time to train these dogs. And one thing you were telling me is that he puts dogs with new veteran duck hunters that don't know the first thing about training a duck dog.
That's right.
In my case, I just also happen to be a dog trainer. I'm not on his level. I'm good at certain things. I'm not getting master level certifications like he does. But I didn't need the PTSD assistance like some vets do. But that's what he does. That's the heart of this guy is these veterans have given to their country. He wants to give back to them at zero cost. It's truly insane.
Yeah,
and I'm grateful and honored to be in that group of men.
Yeah,
that are on the receiving end of what he's doing. It's awesome.
It's legit. When you called and told me that, I was as excited as you were.
I couldn't stand it. Holly said, "Don't tell him. Just tell him on the podcast tomorrow." And I'm like,
wow.
I said, "Yeah, it's a great idea." I took about 3 steps and I was like, "I'm calling Eric now.
I'm calling him now.
I'm calling him right now."
That's legit.
She's like, "You can't wait." I'm like, "No, I can't wait. I'm calling him. I'm calling my son-in-law. I'm calling my dad." I called everybody.
Everybody. And I was so excited. I called you back. I couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, boy. All right.
I'm still excited.
But, yeah, speaking of American freedom and dogs and the 250th, here we are. Founding Fathers episode number 1, 2, 3.
77?
4, 5.
Number 5. Yeah. Of this series, yeah.
Of this series, number 5. And this one, my good friends, is Samuel Adams. And it turns out he's more than just a cold, frosty beverage nowadays. And so here's how we're going to do this on this episode. I'm going to go ahead and read because I'm for the founding, arguing for the founding father and for he's being a Christian. So I'm going to go ahead and do the background so that we don't force the guy reading the defense to
kill his own argument.
Yeah, his own argument. All right, so we're talking about Samuel Adams, Josh. He was born in Boston, so he's a Massachusetts guy.
So you think he had that funny accent? I'm from Boston.
Boston.
That's how y'all say it.
Absolutely.
He did.
The harbor.
By the harbor.
I know some people that live up there in Rhode Island, Boston, so I try to get up there once a summer, so.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Go see the harbor.
The harbor. All right, so he was born in 1722. And
a long time ago.
Long time, but not that long. He died in 1803, okay? As a Massachusetts, this is all going to be part of this intro. Will be part of I'll sum it up at the end of why he is, I think, a founding father. All right, he was a Massachusetts political leader. Thank you. A revolutionary organizer. He was a Continental Congress delegate, Josh, a Declaration of Independence signer, the lieutenant governor, and later the governor of Massachusetts. He came out of the Boston Puritan and Congregational world. Okay, Harvard educated. Actually, he's losing credibility in my book. And shaped by a New England culture that linked public virtue, covenant thinking, and resistance to tyranny. I get behind this guy. Britannica identifies him as part of the Massachusetts radical leadership of the Revolutionary era. All right, what did he do? He emerged as a central Massachusetts opponent of British imperial policy, especially during the Stamp Act crisis, the Townshend crisis, and escalating confrontations that culminated in the Boston Tea Party and the coercive acts. Probably the most American moment in history is when we decided that for the mere 3% increase in the tea tax, we've had enough. Can you imagine what they'd think today? The walk your dog tax we just Give me a break.
They breaking out the muskets.
They would be way
They'd have been
past
shooting
that.
a long time ago.
Yes. In 1774, so 2 years before he signed the Declaration of Independence, Josh, he helped push Massachusetts towards intercolonial coordination. I didn't make that up. I'm reading this. By heading the committee in the Massachusetts House that proposed a Congress in Philadelphia after the coercive acts. Okay, but here's some really good points. He served in not the first, but the first and second Continental Congress. Like, that's a pretty big deal. And worked behind the scenes towards independence. Jefferson, who we've already done on this podcast, later credited Samuel Adams as a key force steering the Congress towards separation. So when they're like, what should we do? They're like, or he said, separate. Throw that stupid D back in the bay. Or in the harbor. All right. Then he also was the guy that nominated George Washington to command the Continental Army, showing that he helped shape not only the protest, but also national revolutionary leadership. So he's in already with Jefferson, knows him well. Washington nominated him his own self, okay? Then after he pushed the Continental Congress to sign the Declaration of Independence, which basically said, we're done with you, England. We're going to start our own country, and I don't care what you say about it. Beat it, nerds. Then he signed a Declaration of Independence after that. And you know what that meant for him then, Josh? A death wish. If they'd have found him, they'd have hung him. All right. And then lastly, after that, he helped draft the Massachusetts Constitution of 1780, served as lieutenant governor from 1789 to 1793, and then governor from 94 to 97. All right. Now, here's what he's known for. This is my favorite part. I think you're fake typing to make me nervous. He's typing on his computer, ChatGPT. All right. Here's what he's known for. This is my favorite part. Being one of the loudest and earliest organizers of revolutionary resistance in Boston and Massachusetts, and helping convert local protests into coordinated colonial resistance. Okay. My man is as American as it gets. He said, I'm done with them. We're done with them. We're signing the thing that says we are done with them collectively. I will fight you for it. I don't need your tea. And all you guys who feel the same way as me, grab a musket and do something about it. All right. If that, Josh, isn't the most founding father-esque behavior that you can find, I don't know what is. Did he sign a founding docs? Absolutely. Did he have a major
Didn't
leadership?
write it, though. Didn't write
Did he have a major leadership role? Absolutely.
No.
Nominated Washington himself through the tea into the Boston, the harbor. And then was he an influencer? My good friend. He was in the Continental Congress twice, which was national level political leadership. Also a bonus point. And recognized, Josh, the very last point, by Jefferson and by the other folks of the Continental Congress as a leader in the space. I rest my founding father's case.
Okay. That was not a bad intro. I'll give you credit. Completely off.
All right.
We have courtroom precedents from a previous case that if you didn't write the Declaration of Independence, you might as well not even sign it. I think that's a direct quote from the dissenting side last podcast.
Guy didn't know what he was talking about.
Okay. Now, major leadership role. He did nominate George Washington. That's true. Do you know that he actually filled George Washington's role that he exited in the Continental Congress?
No, I did not know that.
Sounds to me like he was fishing for a job.
Oh, okay. I see. Here we go.
And nominating somebody to be a founding father because you're, how do we say, a little too chicken? Doesn't make you a founding father. It makes you a weenie. All right? He nominates Washington to go out there and pretty much put a target on his back. He stirs up trouble. 3% tax, and he gets everybody riled up. As if that wasn't enough, he instigates and agitates the crowd into throwing the tea overboard. Now, he didn't pay with his body. He didn't fight in the war. He didn't fund the war. He just broke the government is what he did. Now,
Broke it.
he was a rabble rouser,
Oh, boy.
is what they called
Give
him.
me a break.
A protester. We've seen those.
Which makes
They
him
don't
an
have-
American.
They don't have jobs. They block traffic in the street of good Americans going to their job. He's an agitator.
He blocked horse traffic. Ain't nothing blocking a horse in those
I'm
days.
trying to make a connection to the crazies today. Would you leave me alone?
All right.
He played a major role in disturbing and upsetting events like the Boston Tea Party, which is destruction, not construction. See what I did there?
Poorly.
By this logic, it is
Yes.
more of a demolition expert that your boy Sam Adams is than an architect. A founding father would have built something. He did nothing but broke something. Then when the Declaration of Independence comes around that someone else wrote, I don't even know why they called this dude, but they let him sign it. I would say they let him sign it, but he didn't sign the Constitution. In fact, he didn't want to. What gives? You want to break it and don't want to help fix it there, Sammy? Come on.
Sammy. He's too busy coming up with a beer recipe.
Well, his grandfather and dad did. He broke that too. He was too logical, basically a Boston influencer. I would argue that Adams was deeply tied to Boston politics, more of a regional agitator than a national level statesman. Unlike Washington and Thomas Jefferson, who actually shaped the entire nation, Adams is just a colonial era activist with his little
Willing to put his life on the line for freedom.
Boston Strong sign standing out on the corner blocking traffic of the good, hardworking Americans. He was more about chaos than structure, is what I'm trying to say. The dude was a chaos coordinator, organizing protests, encouraging resistance, thrived in pre-government instability. I don't know that he's what I would want to call an American. So yeah, his family they didn't even make beer. They just made malt and sold it to the companies who made beer. Come on. If you're going to boast beer, make a beer.
If you were to have a Samuel Adams with Sam Adams, would you do it?
Would I do it, or would I do it and say these things to his face?
Yeah, that was the next part.
I'd do it, sure.
Okay, so what would you talk about? What would you want to talk about?
Anything but this malarkey I'm trying to sell you right now. Because that dude would probably get up and smack me with the mug.
With the mug.
Yeah. He'd likely down it first. He'd probably chug it, smack the table with it, and then sling it across my face.
At you, yeah.
I think.
So yeah, here's the thing about it,
Yeah,
my man.
that's really it. Basically, he's.
I don't necessarily.
I gave it my best shot.
You did a great job. I'm listening. We all listened intently at your terrible argument. Oh shoot.
He's a founding father. Come on.
He has to be.
Yeah.
Not only is he a founding father, he's the epitome of who we are today.
Well, look, number 3
He
was
didn't like it.
influencer. And that, I would even
He
say,
did
yes, he
something
signed the
about it.
Declaration of Independence, and that was a big role. But look, there's a lot of guys that signed the Declaration of Independence that you don't know their name. You know this dude's name.
No question.
I had to go and check to see if he signed. I didn't even know, but I knew the rest of the stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. Of all the people we've done so far, he's the guy I would most want to meet. I want to meet this agitator from Boston.
Do you know his gravesite is the most visited founding father of all of them?
No, I didn't know that.
So you want to hear another interesting fact? So when you take a walk of the Freedom Trail in Boston, one of the jokes they say is you can have a cold Sam Adams looking at a cold Sam Adams.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
There you go.
Look it up.
That's not what they told me. Did I ever tell you that story?
No, but I can't wait to hear it.
Look. So
he's readjusting himself in the chair. He's sitting up a little straighter. He's got a smile on his face.
When Holly
We're
and I
about to
first
get
got married,
educated.
I love the Northeast. Not so much except for the history that's up here. And I call Virginia the North because it's above North Carolina. So
I thought it was above I-10.
well, that's all Yankee above I-10, but these are northern people.
Don't call
up here.
me a Yankee.
So check this out. We go to Boston one year for Thanksgiving, just her and I. We're sitting in a hotel room. What does Josh Myers do for Thanksgiving? I eat Thanksgiving turkey while watching the Westminster Kennel Club
Oh, good gracious.
and making my family do it as well. Anyway, so we take
Poodles?
I watch them all. Mostly sporting and herding breeds are my favorite. I will watch some non-sporting. After that, I don't care.
Okay.
I'm a working dog. Anyway, so we take one of those bus tours of the city. We had Matt, the best tour guide ever. He was a retired high school American history teacher. This dude knew everything about everything in Boston. It was phenomenal. Up until the point where he said, hey guys, it's the end of my shift at the next stop. It's one of those hop on, hop off things. At the next stop, my shift relief will be there and he'll take over. I'm sure it'll be just as good. And I'm like, for the $20 I paid, it better be. And this dude gets on and I am certain he just got high. He had hair going everywhere and he was like, hey, man. And I'm like, I was instantly getting furious, right? And Holly is...
It was a good thing the first guy gave you your 1950 worth.
Yeah.
This guy's 50 cent.
I couldn't even get 50 cents out of this clown. Holly was getting so excited just watching me get frustrated by this kid.
She was having a great time. Her day had changed.
So he's just like, hey, look, over to the right, there's a graveyard with a lot of really, I guess, famous dead people in there. If you want to check it out. And I'm just like, this is before Google reviews. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, if I could have found some kind of way to give a review, I would have. So then he stops. We're at a red light and he's like, hey, I see there's a lot of foreigners on the bus. Do y'all know about Thanksgiving? Do y'all do that in your country?
Do you do it?
I'm sitting here, I'm like, this guy's an idiot.
You don't remember his first name?
I can't remember anything
We'll
about
call him
that.
Alex.
Yeah.
Give me a break, Alex.
So Alex is like, look, the details are not important. Basically, there was a bunch of old dudes on a boat and they crashed. And we call that place Plymouth Rock. And so we eat turkey and pumpkin pie.
Oh, Alex, you blew it.
Oh, he bombed it so bad. And they're all cracking up laughing because they know the story and Alex doesn't.
Maybe that's his shtick.
So
he's a down player, Josh.
So at this point, the light turns green.
They loved it.
The light turned green and we're not moving.
Oh, the bus had stopped.
And now I'm like unable to control I can't sit in I'm like, I need to go smack this dude in the back of his head and tell him he has an active role in this tour, and that's to drive the doggone bus.
And tell me things
that
are relevant.
He was like, oh, man, look, the light just turned yellow, man. I guess we're doing another one.
Another round.
So he said, so at this intersection, like we were heading this way, and there was a tunnel.
He's putting his hand straight forward like a knife hand.
There's a road coming this way that tees off into our road. You got to go left or right. And so he's like, hey, man, look down there. This is Boston's rendition of heaven and hell. You see, like, all the good cars, they're coming to the light, man. And look at the bad ones. They're going down to the darkness, man.
No, don't cricket this, man.
Dude,
this is a great story.
Angry.
I can
so
see
angry,
that.
dude. I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, clearly.
That was like 19 years ago.
You better not find that old Alex.
If I see Alex anywhere, I'm going to tell him something.
Let him have it.
Next time I go up to Boston, I'm going to make sure. It's called Bean Town Pub. Is the one right across the street from the cemetery.
I did go to the Cheers pub, though.
Oh, nice.
The actual
Oh,
Cheers.
yeah. That's cool.
It was cool.
Sat
Just to walk in.
Cliff's seat.
I was like, hey, Norm,
seat.
where's Norm? No Norm.
No.
He left.
But I got a T-shirt.
Nice.
That's kind of cool.
All right. Well,
anyway.
I think we've established, I'm going to write this up. Samuel Adams.
Is a founder. Done.
Okay.
Sam Adams, 100% founder. Agitator, instigator, influencer, rebel rouser.
What is it? We're not going to go into
Who cares?
Who cares?
He's a go for founding father.
Bingo. All right. So any further. So next, we're going to argue whether
Probably
or not he was
the
a
great,
Christian.
great, great, great grandfather of Alex.
Oh, I really hope that Sam Adams is a. Yeah, right. Yeah, I bet. I mean, I really hope this is a clearer cut Christian case. We need to find a Christian for an example. All right.
We set the bar high for their time.
Oh boy, I got something when it gets to my turn.
All right, Judge. All right, so here's the prosecution case arguing that he was in fact a Christian. I really hope we win this one outright. All right, pillar number 1, confession. Well, number 1, like Josh, he was an Orthodox Christian. There's no question about it, okay? He's presented generally as one of the more clearly Christian founders, and the Encyclopedia Britannica even goes so far as to call him staunchly Calvinistic. Okay, let's start there. Josh is curling his top lip at this. But what's a Calvinist? And what's Calvinism?
In simple layman's terms, Calvinists believe that people are predestined to faith and salvation or damned to hell before birth.
So who chooses their salvation, themselves or God?
They have no say in it. God chooses it. He chooses the ones he'll save, and he damns the rest of them because it's fun or something.
Right, and they call that the elect.
The elect, yeah.
And but a Calvinist, though, similar to many Christians, do they believe in grace-based principles or works-based principles? You are saved through grace or faith alone?
I'm not sure what the Calvinists in the 1700s would have believed, but a Calvinist today would say it's not works-based, it's God-based.
No, it's definitely. It's faith-based.
I wouldn't call it faith-based. It's God's faith, not their faith.
Good point. It's grace-based salvation,
There you
not
go.
works-based
That's true.
salvation. And there's only one, and God calls someone to salvation, and they will come. Like, this is it. Their core framework is called TULIP, Josh. All right.
I know.
You knew this? Total depravity. Here's what that means. Humans are sinful by nature and unable to choose God on their own. We would agree, as Baptists, they are in fact sinful by nature, but we would not agree that they can choose God on their own. That they cannot. We would agree. We would say they can. Unconditional election. God chooses who will be saved, not based on anything they do. That's a kind of a half truth. So it's not works based, which we agree with. But God doesn't always. He can choose, but you also have a play in this. Limited atonement. Number 3. Jesus died specifically for those who will be saved, the elect. So not for everybody, but only for the elect, which is interesting. Irresistible grace. When God calls someone to salvation, they will come. His grace cannot ultimately be resisted. That I think we agree with. When he calls us, we'll come. But he's not... Okay, we'll just stop there for a second. And perseverance of the saints. Those truly saved will remain saved. They will not ultimately fall away. Okay. What Calvinism emphasizes: God's authority and control, salvation by grace alone, the inability of man to earn salvation, assurance of salvation for believers. Okay. What it pushes against: it strongly rejects the idea that humans can choose God apart from his intervention. Salvation is based on human works or merit. Well, we agree with that it is not, that humans' works or merit. And then number 3, God's will can ultimately be thwarted. They don't believe it can be thwarted. And I think we're in alignment there, aren't we? All right. But the question is this, the major debate around Calvinism, and we won't get into Calvinism, but how do you reconcile God's sovereignty with human responsibility? That's a really tough question. All right, so Calvinism leans heavily towards God-determined salvation. Other systems like Arminianism, not to nerd out, lean towards humans have a real, meaningful choice. All right.
Note that he's talking a lot of Christianese, but not defending his point of view.
No, I'm saying that to say this. I'm
just giving you a hard time.
I know, I love you. So he was clearly a believer, and so a Calvinist. He is known as a Calvinist.
Objection, unfounded statement.
He's a Calvinist publicly, or known to be a Calvinist, and they, in fact, profess Jesus. They don't, but the difference there between our faith today and them is just that who chooses that election? Is it you, or do you have a play in it or not? Do you have a role in it or not? And the Calvinists apparently would say you do not have a role in it. We would say you absolutely do have a role in it, and but he doesn't unqualify him from being a Christian. It's just a variance of such, okay? Number 1. All right. That's his That's the beginning of why I think he qualifies himself as a Christian. Number 2, reputation. The Constitution Center transcript describes Samuel Adams as one of the founders who believed the state should continue promoting religion, which fits a publicly Christian civic outlook more than a detached one. So we've argued previously that they were not trying to push their specific Christian faith. It was more of a theist faith, so that you can believe, not to be. So they
were using more vague language.
Yeah, to be separated from the Church of England, who was not vague. They were very direct. You had to believe this, right? But Sam Adams was more public when he's pushing the Christian civic outlook. That's a big deal, okay? And they embraced a vision described as a Christian Sparta, linking civic self-government to Christian moral formation. That's from the Constitution Center, okay? While this doesn't prove orthodoxy on its own merits, but it does strongly suggest that contemporaries and later scholars, we don't place him among the openly I'm not even saying those stupid words. The bottom line is he believed he was well past atheist, well past agnostic.
Agreed.
He was past deist because he was a Calvinist, clear Calvinist. And I think because of the fact that that's what the argument on trial here is, if a Calvinist is classified as a Christian, then this is a closed and shut case. That's it. I'm going to stop right there.
Okay, well, I just want to go back to the beginning and bring up some points you missed. There's some interesting facts about this dude.
I think, and a Calvinist is a Protestant background, which is exactly what we're arguing.
That's a strong argument, but you're missing out some key points you conveniently left out of your argument. I see what you did there. And it's a good case from a prosecutor, I guess, but he started his own business early life, and that was done thanks to a large loan from his father until he squandered it and went bankrupt. The dude's kind of a dirtbag.
Irrelevant.
Truth. It sets the stage. Adam then tried, I'm going to call him by his last name, Adams then tried his hand at the brewery business, though he did little to actually help in the way of work. So that didn't work out. When his father died in 1748, he did inherit most of his property and a large money, but then...
Way before he signed the Declaration of Independence.
But then a lot of tax obligations and mostly poor financial decisions cost him almost all of the entire estate. He was married twice because he had loose morals. In this period, he had two...
What's the point? Hey, come on.
Setting the stage. He had 2 children. By his 40s, Adams was living, this is a quote, off the thrift of his second wife.
The thrift.
And the generosity of others. In short, despite his well-heeled rearing, that's fancy, Adams was irresponsible and unreliable. He once told John Adams he never looked forward to anything in his life, never planned for anything, never laid a scheme or formed a decision for laying up anything for himself or anyone after himself. Sounds like he needs to be less on the Christian tracker, a little more on the dirtbag tracker. Now, there's a lot of explicit language when it comes to his testimony or even evangelical language. Unlike many clearly devout Christians of his era, Sam Adams left behind no detailed personal testimony of his conversion, no dramatic born-again story. Let me skip ahead to some more important ones. His religion was used for a tool for public morality. Adams frequently invoked religion in the context of 3 things: liberty, virtue, and public order. That's the only time he'd bring it up. Alignment with Enlightenment political thought. That's where it was. He lacked strong doctrinal defense. Sam Adams did not spend time defending or articulating his, quote, core Christian beliefs. Never mentions things such as the Trinity, the divinity of Christ, or salvation by grace alone. Political actions over spiritual focus. A lot of revolutionary activism, political organization, resistance leadership, and as we said before, a little bit of an agitator. There's little evidence of his own evangelism, missionary concerns. No,
Not a criteria. Not a criteria.
fair. It's fair. Leave it alone while I'm trying, okay? Association with less orthodox figures. Adams worked closely with individuals like Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin.
That's actually a stronger argument than you're probably making it out to be, but go ahead.
Some absence of Christ-centered language. Okay. I'm going to get you a couple of quotes here and I'm done.
We didn't do the time part tonight, Matty B.
Religion is a civic utility. Religion and good morals are the only solid foundation of public liberty and happiness.
Womp womp.
Poor thing. Providence language. It is by the goodness of God that we are a free people. That sounds pretty good on its face. Uses vague God language like any other deist would. No specific Christian content here. Virtue over doctrine. Public virtue cannot exist in a nation without private virtue, and public virtue is only foundation. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. Moving on. Forget that one. Scratch it.
Objection, Your Honor.
I think I've had
unprepared.
Political focus over spiritual identity. I think that's pretty evident. The liberties of our country, the freedom of our civil constitution are worth defending at all hazards. That's pretty weak.
Can we just rest your case?
Yeah, I'm done.
Can I rest your case for you?
You can. Put me out of my middle. Just
Edit,
shoot me like
edit that out.
Shoot me like an old tired horse. Bottom line is,
yeah, wrap it up.
what's your vote?
Well, no, we didn't.
Matt's got a comment here.
Yeah, and I don't even get a retort.
You can retort.
So
I'm doing some more of my independent research, so go ahead, retort.
we don't pay you to be a lawyer. We pay you to judge.
Well, I need to. If I'm gonna I have to be a good judge. I have to know all the information.
All right, it's fair.
So you make your closing remarks, and then I will make a verdict.
The bottom line is there was nothing in your argument that pointed to anything on this list that puts him anywhere. You never said the word deist, agnostic, or atheist in your argument. You never squarely. Let me start over and be kinder. The defense never squarely put him into anything.
Not my job.
Anything.
Not my job.
Besides Christian. And I think that we've already established in this court today that he was a Calvinist. And therefore, we are not asking the question as to whether Samuel Adams was a Christian. We are now having on trial that whether or not Calvinism is Christianity. And if it is...
that could be a whole different podcast, which I actually wrote down that we should do. But the problem is he lacks all the same things Ben Franklin lacked.
And if Calvinism is a Christian faith, a denomination of Christian faith, which it is, a part of the Protestant church, then there is no question as to whether or not he was a Christian. I rest my case.
That's fair to a degree, but the problem is you have never once said he talked about the divinity of Jesus, which was a big sticking point for you on the last podcast. Well, you never said that he talked about his conversion or his faith by grace.
He was raised in the church.
It's not my job to prove that he's deist, theist, agnostic, or atheist. I'm just saying you're the one with the burden of proof, sir, that he's Christian.
I'm not sure that's how this works.
Oh.
Maybe it is how it works. I am prosecuting, I guess, question mark.
Yeah, so going on, in 1795, Sam made a proclamation in which he says, earnestly recommending to the people of every religious denomination to assemble in their respective congregations on that day and with true contrition of heart to confess their sins to God and implore his forgiveness through the merits of the mediator. And who is the mediator, you ask? Jesus Christ.
Did he say that?
Oh, no, there's more.
Oh, he didn't say it.
No, just that he would. So later on, it's like that he would be pleased to speed the day when the peaceful and glorious kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, may be established throughout the whole world and that all the nations on the earth may submit to his righteous and holy scepter.
Sam
Your
Adams,
Honor, I move to be disbarred.
Sam Adams said that?
Sam Adams said that.
I move to be disbarred.
Told you so.
Look up 1795 proclamation.
See, I should have done a better job as the
Somebody
author.
else wrote that. He just signed it. Probably an aide signed it.
So I
Okay.
am beyond
We-
myself.
This
we
was
make
given
our- we
at the
make our
council
votes.
chamber.
We make
in
our votes. I
Boston.
lost. Quit rubbing it in.
Oh, you
I
voted
say
clearly lost.
Christian. Hands down.
hands down Christian.
Hands down.
I think we're right. Can we get a massive celebration? We found one. We finally found one, Josh. Unequivocally, unexplainably.
Wait a minute. More than found one. We found one that meets arguably the most ridiculously strict requirements for being a Christian.
Which are our requirements.
Well, they are, but I mean, in history, it's hard to meet these requirements.
And I didn't even. He said it is highly becoming for a person to render to him their collective homage by a humble confession of their sins and a devout supplication for his blessing.
Here's the problem. The only problem is he wouldn't have said that if he didn't feel like he was part of the elect.
That's right. Hey, we did it with a lot of storytelling in about 35 minutes. We knocked that out.
Not bad. Dogs.
All right, Sam Adams.
Sammy A., thanks for what you did, buddy. And
Yep.
if we get to meet one day, I'm
Not
gonna
if, when.
have
Hope to have a cold one with you.
Sam Adams with you, my good friend. I don't care where we do it.
A Boston
The
lager.
Boston Lager.
Looking at the harbor with a
Looking
bunch of tea on the ground.
I don't
It
think-
is hot in here.
This room? Really? Well, maybe it's that long sleeve button up, not
Yeah.
button down.
There it
shirt
is.
You got it.
that you've got on. All right, good friends, we've gotten to the end, Josh. We got so
And the
many
people
stories.
know that I'm getting a dog.
That's a big deal.
6 months.
Let's go.
That's a big deal.
I can't
September,
wait, man.
October.
Mid-September to mid-October.
That's exciting.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, whenever
Missouri,
we
here
come
I
back,
come.
that's gonna be cool. Good drive. All right. When we come back on the next one, who's next?
George Mason.
George Herbert.
He's
Walker
a
Mason.
Stafford, Virginia fella, just like old
GW.
George E. Washington.
Very cool. Yep. And he owned, what do you say, like 20,000 acres in
In
Stafford?
Stafford, he owned 20,000
We're,
acres.
we're trying to figure out if where we live was former George
I say
Mason
we just
land.
claim up on it.
That'd be cool, man. There is a lot of history here.
Ton of it.
I live in a place just 5 minutes or so away from here, but part of the Union Army in the winter between Battle of Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville, they camped right outside the house. There was a shooting range right across the street from where I live now. A neighbor friend of mine who's a metal detecting guru, just a few years ago, 3 or 4, he found a full jacket in the woods. And you know how he found it? Because it hit on the buttons. And like one sleeve was like gone. The other one was like kind of just like flapping there. And it had mostly this, and I'm putting my, mostly the button, whatever the buttons attached to was the thickest part. And that's what mostly survived the jacket. But he found a jacket in the woods, buddy.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so they're still finding things like that today. That's pretty
Been
cool
laying
stuff.
there for a long time.
All right, boys and girls, it was a great chat tonight. I don't know if we'll do another episode tonight or we'll just wait for another week or two and we'll come up with some more crazy stories, mostly Josh. But remember this,
Not me.
good friends, that men of the world follow trends. And Jesus-loving Christian,
Sam
albeit
Adams.
Calvinists, they, my good friend Josh, do what?
They follow truth.
Make your choice.